Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So nice to see so many of you here on this spring day. If you can, please rise. We're going to do a rousing version of Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed with Andres on drums. And good morning. I am Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-Led. I am Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-Led. Flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wandering child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made in the divine. Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-Led. I am Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-Led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. And as we're choosing our way, there's a voice inside to guide us along. Our Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-Led. We are Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-Led. We are Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-Led. We are Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-Led. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-Led. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-Led.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, you may be seated. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So great to see your faces, at least this part. Pretty soon, maybe we'll see the whole face. Hello to all the live streamers, those of you on YouTube and Facebook, thank you for joining us. We're feeling your energy. If you would just sort of post a little hello, I'm here, just so that we know and we feel that we're connected with you and you're connected with us. And to my right is our very own Chris Eagle, who is going to light the Divine Light candle. And I invite you to, well, yes, take a moment while that's going. Just feeling that energy there. And I invite you to say our opening invocation, which is in the little buff sheet in the seat back in front of you. You take that out if you don't know that yet. And let's just take a moment and breathe into our heart center, feeling that energy of joy and love moving through us as we say together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotence. Feeling that energy, allow that energy to just radiate within your body, within your mind, within your entire being, uplifting and holding you in a space of expansion. Expanding into a greater consciousness of good, expanding into a greater experience of love, joy, and infinite abundance. Thank you, Spirit. So it is. All right, so today is a special day, and I usually don't wear the official thing, but today I'm wearing the official thing because we've got some official business to do. Official ceremonies to conduct today. And I am so pleased to honor our beautiful prayer team today. First of all, our beautiful prayer team. We just want to take a few moments and have a ceremony to honor and be grateful for them and invite them up onto the platform. So as I call your name, if you would come on up, Pat Webster, Karen Rowe, Joanne Dayhill. Barnsley Brown may be watching us on the live stream, so we're loving you, Barnsley Brown. Chris Geith also might be on the live stream, but we're holding your space and your energy here today. And Lorraine Lewis. Come on up. Well, we're going to invite her in just a minute. These are the current prayer team members. Yes, we're going to do that in just a minute. Trust me, I have a plan. I have a plan. All right, so these dedicated individuals have committed to serving for another year. And just in case you don't know what all the prayer team does, they respond to your prayer requests in all of the different ways that they come in. They sit with you in the 3-minute miracle, which will, if you're new, we'll share a little bit more about what that is later on. We're doing a new thing where we're praying over the prayer box. You'll see that in just a minute. And basically, there are a prayerful presence in this community. They hold a prayerful energy. And prayer is the foundation of this community. So I would like to bless you all and have, just as a small token of our gratitude and appreciation, Pat Webster. This is for Chris Geith when you're here. Karen. Thank you. Joanne. This is for Barnsley when she comes in. And Lorraine Lewis, who is been the prayer team leader for many years, held this whole program together, started it, and held it all together for many years, even before I was here. So, we definitely want to recognize that. So, in serving in this way, they have said yes to major spiritual growth in their lives. You know, when you serve on the prayer team and you're praying for others, you're helping to see the divine in them. They're helping them see the divine in others, helping them see the highest possibility in every situation in their lives. And when you're doing that for others, that also has a reverberation. It bounces back to you. So it's big. Would you agree? It's big spiritual growth there with that. Yeah. So wonderful. Thank you. We deeply appreciate your work and your service here. And so now, I'd like to invite in the 2 new members of our prayer team, Mel Karen and Joy Bell. Come on up. All right, wonderful. You can hand them a candle. That's it. And so, again, they have said yes to being that prayerful presence, and they already are in service to this community in a prayerful way. So if you would light your candle, and as you light the candle, I'd like you to repeat after me one at a time. Just hang on a sec. One at a time. Repeat after me. I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
Yes, you are. All right, Mel. I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
Yes, you are.
Amen.
All right, Unity Community, would you please do our special blessing? Hold your hands up, feeling that energy and love flowing through you, and let's send these individuals love and our special blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Thank you so much. All right, you may be seated. Take your candle with you. You can blow that out when you're ready to do that. Yeah, just so honored for that. And as a special thank you to our wonderful person that has come into this community and shared with us her prayer chaplaincy program. Actually, Lorraine, if I could have you just come back up again. prayer chaplaincy program and has been the glue for this prayer team, has gathered us together for monthly meetings, has coached each of the prayer team individuals to help, when they get stuck and like, I can't see it, and to help them raise their consciousness to a higher level so they can see the highest possibility for that other person and for them. And from that place, begin the affirmative prayer. And in so many other ways, being this loving presence in our community and being the example. Would you please come on up so we can honor and bless you too? Oh, thank you so much. And we have this is from the entire prayer team. We're sharing just a little token of our gratitude and appreciation. Pat will be stepping down from the prayer team now to focus on her book. She's got a fabulous book that she's finishing and getting out there, and the wonderful classes and workshops that she leads. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. All right. Thank you. Okay. So today we're just honoring so many of people who serve in various ways. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? And so for the prayer team, holding this community in a prayerful place, the Board of Trustees holds this community from a place of head and heart combined. And so both of those things kind of fit together and really make a solid foundation, which we're going to talk about today, creating a solid foundation for our community so that we can grow and thrive. Right? So I am so thrilled to welcome up the members of our current board and acknowledge them for the energy, the love, the time, their unique talents that they share with this community in big service on the board. So if I would, when I call your name, if you would please come up. Again, Mel Karen, Mary Wiley, Cheryl Stevens, Oswaldo Mora, Maria Kavanaugh. All right. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Oh, yes. So we want to show our appreciation for your commitment to following Spirit's guidance, and upholding the community and serving so prayerfully and thoughtfully and with your focus on the best possible solution and listening to the voice of the divine through the last 2 unprecedented challenging years. Right? Let's give them a round of applause. Yeah, and again, that's it. I mean, for any time to say yes and be of service on the board, yes, you were saying yes, and as Maria often says, it was Reverend Rosemary that told you it's big spiritual growth. You're saying yes to big spiritual growth, serving on the board. Yeah. Right? Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. But do you feel that, we've created this beautiful bond and the connection, and we're, it's like this whole process of growing together. We've done retreats and all kinds of little mini retreats.
Many retreats.
Many retreats. That's it, yeah. So, again, Unity, our wonderful community, would you just shower these individuals with love? And again, let's say our Unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ is you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere yet. I now have the pleasure of introducing our brand new board team member, Joanne Comas. If you would come up, please. She is joining the board. You last Sunday in our annual meeting, you voted in 2 new members of the board. This is Joanne Chris Geith is the other member who we are inviting in, but she's not going to take office until after she completes her seminary, which will be at the end of June. And we'll do another little mini ceremony at that point to do another releasing. Cheryl Stevens will be coming off of the board, but she's agreed to stay on until Chris can take that position. So thank you, Cheryl. And have we, we haven't released Mel yet. I'm sorry. I should have done that first. We love you, and we thank you for your service. Mel is obviously in service on the prayer team. We just welcomed her in there, and she's also working in the office and being our Sunday assistant. So she's coming off the board in order to do that. So thank you for your beautiful service to the board. And you may step down. Carefully. So, Joanne, we are so grateful for your willingness and your saying yes to Spirit's guidance in serving in this awesome way. And we affirm for you all the 12 powers, right? Do you use all the 12 powers serving on the board? But probably in particular, power of strength, wisdom, understanding, imagination, maybe even.
Patience.
Patience, is that a power? I think that is a superpower, patience. And may you serve with your head and your heart aligned. Okay, so for all the board members, we really appreciate your integrity. You know, really, you guys are an expression of integrity. You don't know, I mean, all the millions of things that they do and they take care of from a prayerful place and resolve it before it becomes a problem with so much integrity and courage and Spirit's guidance. And so we appreciate that. We want to appreciate the families for supporting your loved one who spends a lot of time on the board. So we want to acknowledge that. Okay, so it's time for our pledge now. So if you would repeat after me, putting in your name after the word I. I,
Joanne.
pledge to my UCP extended family
Pledge to my UCP extended family
to serve as a trustee
to serve as a trustee
with my head and mind, with my heart and mind,
with my heart and mind,
open to expressing Spirit's guidance.
open to expressing Spirit's guidance.
And unity community, together we're going to both affirm our commitment to this spiritual community and to supporting our wonderful board of trustees. So if you would rise, if you're able. And if you would repeat after me, saying your name after I pledge to my UCP extended family to send loving thoughts and energy to the UCP Board of Trustees. I commit to adding my affirmation, my vision, and my participation to a strong, loving, prosperous spiritual community. And so it is. Would you welcome our board with applause? Thank you all. Thank you all. All right, let's do it. Now, continuing on with the regular portion of our service, meditation song.
Continuing with the meditation song. Please sing along. Please be sure your cell phones are also meditated. I surrender. I trust and I know
the support of the entire universe. It starts with whatever you're sitting on. If you have anything in your laps, if you would put that to the side if it's possible. And just allow yourself to close your eyes or gaze softly down. And just check in with your physical body if it needs any little adjustments, maybe your shoulders, loosen your jaw a little, perhaps wiggle your toes. And just feel your body. It is this very physical connection and emanation of the divine, of spirit, of whatever name you use, to tap into that. As we continue in this exploration, allow your breath to move through and guide the energy that needs to move in your body. We are constantly moving and cycling and doing many things. Our organs do many terrific things 24/7 without us even knowing it. As you breathe, you acknowledge, accentuate, and help those organs do their job. Likewise, beyond our bodies, we also have spiritual organs. You may call them powers, chakras, whatever words work for you. But those are also working in concert with everything in this universe. Allow yourself to tap into them. They may feel like roots going down into the earth. They may stretch into the heavens, but tap into them. They are yours. They are totally yours. They're meant for you, not anyone else. You are a part of this divine tapestry called the universe. And it cherishes you, being you and that part. So allow yourself to just drink that in the silence. Allowing all of that energy, all of that essence to seep into every last cell of your body. If there are any places, people, or or situations that don't yet seem part of this expanse that you are feeling, please name them softly aloud. By naming them, you allow them to remind themselves that they are truly part of this expanse. And at this point, I would like to invite Pat Webster, one of our prayer partners, to come up and pray over our prayer box.
And with all this elevated consciousness, all the love that is brimming in this room, we focus that loving energy on the prayers of the people who have made requests through this box. We see them whole and holy in their divine wholeness. We affirm the abundance that is from the abundant source, the perfect abundant source of the divine. Abundance of the support they need, financial abundance, abundance of friends, abundance of wholeness, smoothness in their relationships, remembering that each of us are God, seeing the divine in the other and being seen as divine for who we are. And because we pray in the no space, no time of God, where these prayers are already on their way to manifestation in our space and our time, because it is God's greatest, the divine's greatest joy to answer these prayers that we affirm and we assert. And for all this, and for the manifestation that is here and now, we say thank you, and so it is.
And so it is. Allowing yourself, if you haven't already, to bring all of that essence back into your body. If you want, wiggle fingers and toes, open your eyes when you're ready. And one of my favorite parts, find at least 2 other divine individuals in the room. And there looks to be at least 40 in this room. And if those of you live streaming, I'm sure you can find a few. All right. Would you join me in our vision and mission, which is either on the front of the program or the order of service sheet, or on the screen for those of you live streaming? And let's say that together. Our vision, we envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission, we center in peace and love. We join in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is. Thank you. And now it's time for the Carolina Cowboys.
We thought Ed missed the memo, but it turns out he actually trumped everybody out. Well, he did better than everybody out here. Look at this. Peace and love. Peace on this side. Turn around, Ed. Love. Dang. We thought Jerry Garcia walked in the door. No, peace and love did. Well, so spiritual expansion, is that what they said? Okay. All right. Well, imagine you're locked up. You got to go inside. That's where you're going to expand from. Isn't that right, guys? That's Oh, Paul and Silas bound in jail all night long. Well, Paul and Silas bound in jail all night long. Oh, Paul and Silas bound in jail all night long. Who shall deliver for me? Oh, that jailer locked the jail up tight all night long. Yes, that jailer locked the jail up tight all night long. Oh, that jailer locked the jail up tight all night long. Who shall deliver for me? Oh, that jail is reeling rock all night long. Yes, that jail is reeling rock all night long. Oh, that jail is reeling rock all night long. Who shall deliver for me? Oh, Paul and Silas bound in jail all night long. Oh, Paul and Silas bound in jail all night long. Oh, Paul and Silas bound in jail all night long. Who shall deliver for me? Oh, jail is reeling rock all night long. That jail is reeling rock all night long. That jail is reeling rock all night long. Who shall deliver for me? I'm singing glory, hallelujah, all night long. I'm singing glory, hallelujah, all night long. I'm singing glory, hallelujah, all night long. Who shall deliver for me?
Yeah. Carolina Cowboys. All right. Hallelujah. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Oh, staples. We don't want staples here. Okay. There we go. Oh, all right. So today really is a special day, isn't it? It's a special day. You know, first of all, we got to welcome in the new prayer team members and honor our prayer team, you know, that they're here to support you to create a space where you can see a higher possibility for your life. You don't have to stay stuck in the problem. I mean, isn't that a miracle right there? Just to know you don't have to be stuck in the problem. You know, it's like they open this energetic doorway so that you can see the blessing on the other side and then make it easier for you to go and claim that blessing. That's kind of where, you know, how they support. We're so supported on all sides. And then with our wonderful board of trustees who bring their talents and their energy and their love, and they serve in the capacity for both, you know, ensuring the financial stewardship of this community, but also to ensure that it grows and expands. And as I mentioned, taking the hundreds of other things that you don't even know about because they have dealt with them before they become a problem. So don't you feel totally supported on in every possible way? Yeah, absolutely. And it's also special because, well, it's the first Sunday in March. We celebrate the first Sunday in March and celebrate the first signs of spring. How much are you loving seeing the daffodils? Hills of daffodils and forsythias beginning to come out and red bud. I love red bud. You know, it's just such a hopeful, affirming sign. The world's coming back to life. Pretty soon, it'll all be an explosion of color. Now, before the new life begins to grow, of course, you know that the trees and the bushes and the plants had to release what they had in order to make it through the winter cycle. You know, it's a common theme. Mother Nature must shed and release what's not serving it at the time in order to grow and expand and express more of its magnificence in the new season. Well, in a similar way, and I know you know what I'm going to say, in a similar way, in order for us to express our full magnificence, we must release what is no longer serving us, which is the idea behind Unity's version of Lent. Unity's version of Lent is a little different. It's not about giving up certain foods or certain drinks or certain behaviors. I mean, maybe that's good for a while. I'm not quite sure how that adds to your spiritual growth. You're just missing those things you don't have, and then so when you're allowed to have them again, you kind of overindulge. No, that never happened to you. Human nature, it's human nature. So unity is about this period of time is really a period of time where we are releasing limited, negative, judgmental thinking. And so for us to prepare for spiritual growth and transformation, or to prepare for any new venture or endeavor or a new mission in life, we want to first investigate and explore and identify limited perceptions, narrow, negative thinking, beliefs, old ideas, fears, resentments, regrets that would hold us back from that kind of growth, that would prevent us from moving into that place that we want to grow into. And then when we identify them, rather than just fasting from them for a while, we want to release them. Completely release. Heal and release, let it go. And every year, we have an opportunity to release another layer. And that's what it is, like the layers of an onion. We have this opportunity to release another layer of that. So, you know, Lent was really an invention by the church. It's not really mentioned in the Bible. The 40-day, of course, is, many times, the 40 days. And, you know, it's my understanding, I didn't grow up in the Catholic Church or that tradition, but it's my understanding that Lent represents the 40 days of Jesus' sacrifice and fasting and being tempted in the desert to purify before his mission, right? So in Unity, we look at the Bible from a more metaphorical, metaphysical lens. All of the stories we look at that way because that helps us to bring them into our own consciousness and helps make it practical for us. Right? So that's what we're doing. So the number 40 is significant. So significant that it is mentioned 146 times in the Bible. The number 40. 40, there's, you know, the 40 days that Jesus, there's Elijah, 40 days. There's Moses, 40 days, right? Elijah, many others, right? Who else? Yeah, huh? Noah. Noah, 40 days. Yeah, interesting, right? When you look at it all. It's this period of time. Elijah, 40 days of fasting and prayer in order to ascend the mountaintop. Now, that in Unity and New Thought, we look at mountaintop consciousness as the highest consciousness, right? The highest level of awareness so he could hear God's voice, or the voice of the infinite divine within him. And Moses, that 40 days of, prayer in the mountains again before receiving the tablets. So the idea of 40 is significant. Now, traditionally 40 is kind of associated with a time of trials and tribulations and testing and other extreme difficulty. But I think there could be another perception here. We could open to another perception, another way of looking at this. So numerologically speaking, I checked with our resident shaman and numerologist, Oswaldo, who told me that 40 signifies as long as it takes. Have you heard that? As long as it takes. So as long as it takes to release those old ideas, those old resentments and the unforgiveness and the old beliefs and the fears and anything that would hold us back from spiritual growth, right, is as long as it takes. We don't have to have it done by Easter. Thank God. It's all symbolic, right? It's all symbolic. Now, Charles Fillmore, who was the founder of Unity, said that the ancient Hebrews saw 40, looked at the idea of 40 as 4 square. This idea of 4 square, which signifies solid foundation. The 4 corners makes a solid foundation, which I think is really interesting. Building this solid foundation on which to build spiritual maturity, a fully realized life, right? So let's explore this idea of the solid foundation. So in order to have, and I'm not a builder, but my guess is, in order to lay a solid foundation, before you do that, you want to clear the soil of all the roots and the rocks and the sticks and the stones and all the debris before you lay that foundation. Otherwise, you're going to undermine. It's going to be undermined. You can pour the foundation and build the building, and it might be okay for a while, but my guess is eventually it'll start cracking and ultimately fall apart, right? Because you haven't cleared the soil. Well, the same is true for our spiritual growth. We first want to uproot and release all of the things that would undermine our spiritual growth. All of those things that would undermine our efforts. We want to identify them and release them. So before we can release them, before we can work with it and release it, we want to see it. We have to see it first, right? We can't heal anything that we can't see. You got to see it in order to heal it. So the first step is finding what could be there. Now, this is sometimes not easy because a lot of this stuff is subconscious. We're not aware of it. This is where this skill of self-awareness comes in. Self-awareness is the skill that helps us to be able to see what's there, what needs to be recognized, so that we can deal with it. We can bring it to the light and we can heal it. So I know Chris Geith, if you're watching on the live stream, she can share this understanding that I have. We both went to the same seminary, One Spirit. And my guess is Unity Seminary, the same way, that first year is all about this, all about the self-awareness piece. You know, we spent a lot of time digging deep and getting to whatever is in there that would undermine our spiritual growth. Kind of important when you serve as a minister. You know, it's important for anybody for their own spiritual growth, but really important before you serve, you know, you want to know what is in there and what could possibly prevent you from full spiritual maturity, and also, you know, undermine your efforts at this. So this happened through, lots of reflection papers, right? You did that, probably doing that too. Yeah, Pat is in that first year. We worked with deans in conversations and counselors and mentors, and we're supported by a wonderful a group. We had a support group, a study group that and it's really good to be supported in this because it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable, but again, necessary. So there are two ways that you can be supported in this skill of self-awareness so that we can go through this process. And one, we are so fortunate, timing, divine timing, synchronicity, we just so happen to be offering a class on self-awareness that is all about this. This is part of our Spiritual Explorers Week at the end of March. So a class in self-awareness. So mark your calendars. You want to register now because I'm telling you it's going to fill up. And it's taught by, this is the other blessing, taught by Reverend Nikki Golden, who is the most compassionate and loving and fun person to have, to be teaching this class. So it will be a gentle and loving way to go through this process of self-awareness. And Chris later will tell you more about how you can register for that. The second way that we can be supported in our efforts of clearing out the soil, right? Becoming aware of it and clearing it out so that we can build a solid foundation of spiritual growth and build, that beautiful building, that expansion of our lives to include an expansion of joy and abundance and well-being and prosperity and wholeness and community and connection. And that is journaling. Journaling is a really great way to uncover those unconscious beliefs that would sabotage our efforts. And I am such a big believer in journaling that we are going to give to you your very own journal to take with you to do this activity for this Lenten period. And for those of you who are live streaming, we will hold a copy for you, and you choose whatever time is good for you to come here and pick yours up, or in other ways, we'll figure out a way to get it to you, okay? But it is for you. But before I have the greeters pass that out, I want to bring your attention to your program, because there is a handout in your program that has a whole self-inquiry questions and some ideas for places to look for possibility. And you can use this as prompts in your journal to help with this excavation activity. So the first area that you might want to look, that's what I've put that in there. Do you have a program? Does anybody not have a program? Raise your hand. Yeah. Well, greeters will pass out. If anybody does not have that, I want you to have that so you can take it with you along with your journal. So areas you might want to look: beliefs about yourself and what's possible for you. What do you believe is possible for you? And of course, before you do any journaling, you want to get yourself into a place that is comfortable and where you can really spend some time going within and listening to the voice of your inner wisdom and get that connection going. Get that a conversation going with your inner wisdom, right? So connect with that and ask these questions, and obviously be honest, otherwise it doesn't work. Resentments you might be holding of others. Painful experiences you've not been able to forget or let go of. Ways others behave that you can't stand, which is a clue that that same quality might be hidden, well hidden within you. In other words, a shadow self. We tend to reflect in others what we can't accept in ourselves. All right, so, and then the next section are just questions, journal prompts that may just spark some ideas for exploration. What scares me the most? What brings up my fear? When I can't sleep at night, what do I think about the most? What am I in resistance to? What needed change am I resisting? It's kind of another way to say it. Who would I be if I let that go? Who would I be if I let all this go? All the resistance. Whew. Is there anyone I'm having trouble loving or forgiving? Some laughter of recognition there. You might want to take a full page for a few pages for that one. Do I truly feel worthy of a joyous, love-filled, and abundant life? Do I feel worthy of that? And if not, why? Why not? All right, so if I could have the greeters pass out the journals. They're all different colors, and you can put your name. Obviously, this is just for you. Do not share with me. You don't need to share it with anybody, unless it's a prayer team member, if you want to. But this is all for you to do this exploration work. And so let's spend the next 40 or so days in contemplation, contemplating these areas, and the next few weeks we'll be working on how to release it. Okay, now that we've identified these things, how can we really release it, let it go, not temporarily fast from it, but totally release it? You got one more, Mary? Oswaldo, you want to take one from Arlene? Yeah. Anybody want to take one for their... Do we have enough? Okay. We don't have enough? We need two more back there. Oh, well, okay. Okay, you got your own journal. Yes, please hand it to the people in the back there who these lovely ladies, so that they have their own. All right. Oh, thank you for sharing. This is such a generous. You guys are so generous and loving and always thinking of each other. It's really, really wonderful. One more. Okay. So imagine if by Easter we have identified and cleared out all of this debris, and we can lay this gorgeous, beautiful, solid foundation and build a life that is fulfilling and meaningful and joyous and full of love. Does that sound good? Does it sound like a good vision to go for? Those of you who are on the live stream, just put a yes in the chat if that sounds good to you too. You are doing this with us. We're doing this together. All right. Namaste. One more time. Carolina Cowboys, come on up.
Up above my head, I see trouble in I see trouble in the air. Up above my head, I see trouble in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Must be a God
Ooh-wee. Just to note, for those of you who haven't sung in that, there's a whole lot of clearing that needs to happen to get those harmonies. So thank you. Yeah. Oh, how do you feel? All right. This is the point in our service where we can just share with this community. And as you can tell, there's a lot of giving and a lot of supporting that's happening on this stage and behind the scenes. You've seen a few pockets of that with the prayer team and the board today. And when you share through this community, you're also sharing your love, your clarity, your presence, not only in this community, but out to the world. And there are various ways of bringing those gifts in. Our current work of society uses money as a convenient conveyance of energy, so it is one of these things. And you may be journaling on that later today, who knows? But when you give of it in love, you spread love. As simple as that. Whatever energy you are giving it with, that's what's going out into the world and coming back. So let's dive in and do it with love. How's that? There are various ways. If you're live streaming, you can see them on the screen. If you're a conscious sustainer, you've got the green cards, all kinds of stuff in the seat backs. Would you hold whatever you're giving or your essence of that, because if you're giving digitally, it's kind of hard to wrap your hand around it. It might be your phone, who knows. But let's go through our blessing or our affirmation, which is on that order of service, if you don't yet know it. And let's really, you can hold the semblance of your gift to your heart. Let's just really feel that together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Yes, and let's join in.
Happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm aware of all my blessings, so much love can sit still. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am happy, I'm joyful, I am
energy. So would you aim your hands at these bowls, at these assembled gifts, knowing that them mixing together is us moving out through this community into the world with love, presence, power, wisdom, and so much more. This blesses everyone and everything it touches and moves through, and comes back to each of us, renewed, invigorated, and transformed into the things that we really need and want, and so much more. And so it is. Mary got ahead of me on that, so I'm going to hand it over to Reverend Victoria.
All right. Thank you, Karen. And the prayer box is going back out to the foyer. So if you would like the prayer team to pray for you, there's little cards that you can write a prayer request and put it in the box as well. And I would just like to welcome any of you who may be visiting us for the first time today. If you would raise your hand, and the greeters will come by with a packet of information that has a little over here and over there. Wonderful to see you. If you'll fill out that card on the outside and return it to one of the greeters, there's a free gift for you in that. And we usually have refreshments. Are we doing the refreshments today on the back deck? Yeah, okay. So it's a good way to, you can take your mask off. It's a good way to get to know you and for you to get to know us. So hopefully we'll see you there. And thank you for being present. And thank you all for bringing your presence, being present, and creating an amazing presence together, because we're doing this together, right? So thank you. All right, one more time. Carolina.
Okay, so we cleared the weeds. We got the foundation poured. Stick build, so we're feeling pretty good about it. What are we doing, Ed?
Gonna build a cabin.
Well, I'll make a song about that, huh?
Hold on, I can take my mask off. I forgot.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Great to see everybody. We hope to come back again. Who knows what name John will give us this time? Carolina Cowboys is pretty good, though.
I think that was from Reverend Victoria. You gave us a new name. Thank you.
I have a little number called Build Me a Cabin.
I've been looking for a place to call home. Still haven't found it, so I must travel on. Don't care for fine mansions on earth's sinking sand. Build me a cabin in the corner of glory land. Build me a cabin in the corner of glory land. In the shade of the tree of life, it never stand. Where I can hear angels sing and shake Jesus' hand. Build me a cabin in the corner of glory land. Lord, I'm not asking to live in your midst. I am not worthy of such splendor as this. I'm asking for mercy while humbly I stand. Build me a cabin in the corner of glory land. Build me a cabin in the corner of glory land. In the shade of a tree of life, it never stand. Where I can hear angels sing and shake Jesus' hand. Build me a cabin in the corner of glory land. are my loved ones who've gone on that way. On the great final morning shall I hear them all say, come join in the singing and playing the band. Build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land. Build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land. In the shade of a tree of life it may ever stand. Where I can hear angels sing and shake Jesus' hand. Build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land. Build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land. In the shade of a tree of life it may ever stand. Where I can hear angels sing and shake Jesus' hand. Build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land. Build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina Cowboys. So something else that happens is if you're getting stuck on journaling, you can always get music to get you moving. And so thank you for adding your energy to us. It happens to be the first Sunday of March, which means that we do something at Unity Centerpiece, which is celebrate everyone who has been born in March. Do we have anybody here in this space? Yes. Maria, and yeah, we got, well, okay, so you know, those are the people, and if you're live stream, you can put in the chat that you're that. So what we're gonna do is, because it's hard to say a bunch of names at once, we'll just say March birthdays when we get to that part. But let's sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, March birthdays. Happy birthday to
So along with the refreshments out there, there will be a little bit of extra celebration outside. So those of you in person get to partake of that. Sorry, it's really hard shoving cake through the live stream. I think it wouldn't go well. So we're going to skip that. All right. So just so you all know, those of you that partake of the CSA that happens out in our parking lot after the service, today is an off day. I think they actually decided they could have a vacation for one weekend. So if you're planning on that, I'm sorry, but they will be back next week. And if you had something that you were supposed to pick up, you can contact Marlene Medina. And if you need that info, come see me afterwards. Also, we have another piece that goes behind the scenes that is of support that Reverend Victoria was talking about, is our We Got Your Back team. So we're looking for volunteers. And what this is all about is if somebody's having some issues and they need a little bit of support in the physical sense, we've got various pieces in play. It could be like getting to doctor's appointments or things like that. So there's a lot of little things that you personally may need, or if there's someone else in the community, that We Got Your Back team really gives that kind of backbone support, where you're just needing an extra hand or two to get back on track. This month, Pat Webster, who is also on the prayer team, you just heard her pray wonderfully with our prayers, is the point contact person. So if you have questions about that, if you would talk with her, or you can talk with myself or Reverend Victoria after the service, if you're interested in joining in on that and being part of that essence. Thank you. Also, You heard a little bit about it. You heard about one of them already. But we have 3 classes happening for our Spiritual Explorer season. Okay, sorry. Not exactly. Experience that's happening at the end of the month, which is March 28th through April 1st. And you've heard about the self-awareness, which is really good, with Reverend Dr. Nikki Golden, which I highly recommend. We have 3 highly recommended teachers who are phenomenal in their own rights, and they're different, just like you are different than me and all of that. So realize that you can't go wrong with any of these. And there's all kinds of different time slots and topics. So the second one is with our very own Reverend Pat Venum, which is Spiral Spirituality, which delves into the richness of spiral dynamics, which is a way of explaining how consciousness shifts in the human experience, shall we say. And I am by no means an expert, but this is a very tantalizing thing for myself. So there's also that. Yeah. And then also, Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselback is doing Practical Metaphysics, which is his own book. He has come and done various things here and all of that. And since it's his own book, there's a treasure trove of information and experience that will come through on that, as with all of these. So, you want to join in on that? If you're a UCP member, you get a slight discount. It's only $75 for that experience per class, where it's $85 for non-members. And it is all online. So you can show up in your jammies, but you might want the nice jammies because you will still be participating. These are all very much experiential classes. But if you want to get your class for free, we have 3 chances to win. You can't just go with one. So you can, if you're somewhat savvy, or you probably know younger people that are savvy in this, so you can get help with this if you're not sure. We're hosting videos on our Facebook page. So if you do a quick video of what UCP has meant to you, how you've grown since you started attending, how your life has changed, how are you peaceful and more loving, you can use your journal to figure this out too, you know. So there's ways of getting to this. What tools, any of these topics, if you want to do a quick little video, post it on our Facebook page, you are automatically entered into a drawing, and we have 3 slots of, we're giving these classes away. So, and make sure, keep it short and sweet. So aim for about a minute. We just need the highlights. And if you're curious about that, not quite sure how to go about it, please contact Reverend Victoria. She's an excellent coach in her own right, but she'll give you quickly what you need to do if you want to do that. So, thank you, all of you. Also, you heard we're on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're doing the digital thing here. So obviously live streamers, you've figured it out somehow because you're following us in some way. But by all means, give us a shout out, click the like buttons, that all helps. And after every service, if you're brand new, you've already kind of figured this out. We've gone through a lot of prayer stuff in this service. But if there's something that's going on for you that's not quite settled right, we have this wonderful prayer team, and it's so wonderful because I can physically see a lot of the prayer team in the room today, and they're behind the scenes, but you can avail yourself of them right after the service with what we call our 3-minute miracle. That is, you get to pray with them. You get raised to that mountain consciousness, be seen and heard as you, your fully divine self, when you join with these people. And they are highly capable, feels kind of flat. They're centered in love, in this divine presence. And they share that with you. And so if you are not feeling that after the service or right in this moment, please avail yourself of that. If you're live streaming, you send an email. If you're in person today, Pat, will you be in the foyer? So just find Pat. She will, depending on where you need to go, you either go to the back room or outside or whatever you need, back room. All right. And then those of you on live stream again, send an email and you will get a call. Get prayed that way. Get prayed. It's an interesting way to say prayed up, prayed in, prayed through. You pick the preposition, not out. That's not the right one. All right. I think that's enough for announcements. There are other things in there. That's enough. Because we've got more things to get on with, which is living. So would you stand if you're able and join with me in our prayer of protection, which is on this sheet or on the screen if you're live streaming, and let's say that together. Good. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So